to a story that's part tech thriller and part, well, human tragedy. It's a real-life account of how broken trust in our digital age can spiral into a revenge plot so calculated it ends up destroying everyone involved, especially the guy who started it all. So let's set the scene. It's early, around 5:30 in the morning. A man is just getting ready for work when his phone buzzes. It's a link from his friend. We're going to call him Bob. But right away, something feels off. This isn't just a one-on-one message. It's a massive group chat. And immediately, the alarm bells start going off. The narrator's first thought is, okay, this has got to be a phishing link, something to steal his info. But that just doesn't add up. His friend Bob works in IT. He's super careful, the last person on earth you'd expect to fall for something like that, let alone send it out. The sheer number of people in this chat was just staggering. This was no accident. This was a broadcast. You had his wife's family, his own family, all their friends, even her colleagues from work. And then it got even crazier. Her lover's family and his wife were in there too, plus a bunch of strangers the narrator didn't even know. So how on earth did it get to this point? To really get what drove Bob to this digital point of no return, we gotta rewind a bit and see how all of this started. Yeah, this wasn't just a sudden snap. The seeds of this whole thing were planted about a year earlier. Things seemed to get better for a while, but then just a few months before this all went down, his wife started acting suspicious again after a high school reunion. And that's when Bob finally opened up to our narrator, telling him how worried he was about his marriage. And this is where we get a really chilling bit of foreshadowing. During that heart-to-heart, Bob mentions a keylogger, almost like it's a joke, but then he gets dead serious and says, don't tell anyone. Looking back now, that little joke was the first sign of a plan that was already taking shape. Okay, so let's jump back to that crazy morning. That joke about the keylogger is suddenly a terrifying possibility. Right after the Facebook message, a group email lands in his inbox. All the same people are on it with the exact same link. Now the narrator knows this is real. So he clicks it. And what he sees is just unbelievable. It's this website thrown together quickly, but it's packed with weeks of evidence. There are screenshots, screen recordings of his wife with another guy, super explicit chat logs, even solo videos she'd made. But Bob didn't stop there. He added this other layer of cruelty, writing these nasty personal captions for every single thing. And then the final twist of the knife. Chat logs where his wife is insulting him, talking about how her lover is bigger and better. So how did he get all of this stuff? Well, that joke from before, it wasn't a joke at all. He used a keylogger, but this was more than just tracking what someone types. This was full-blown surveillance software that recorded the entire screen. Every chat, every video call, every private moment on that computer, it was all captured. This really shows you just how calculated this whole thing was. This wasn't some crime of passion. It was a cold, methodical, 5-step attack. Step 1, install the spy software. Step 2, patiently wait and gather weeks and weeks of evidence. Step 3, build a public website to host it all. 4, put together that massive contact list. And finally, step 5, deploy the weapon. Realizing just how much damage this website is about to cause, the narrator immediately drops everything. He calls Bob, desperately trying to talk him down, to pull him back from the edge. But the person who answers the phone isn't the friend he knows. Bob's been awake all night, just running on liquor and pure rage, building this digital monument to his own betrayal. He's angry, he's emotional, he's sobbing. He is completely consumed by what he's just done. And somehow, through all the anger and the pain, the narrator starts to get through to him. He actually convinces Bob to log in and take the website down, to stop the bleeding before the damage is permanent. For just a split second, there's this little flicker of hope. But just as Bob is about to delete it, that hope is just obliterated. Apparently, her family had seen the link and had been blowing up her phone until she woke up. She saw the website, and now she's in the room, and she is screaming. The narrator hears about 30 seconds of this vicious screaming match. Bob calling her every name in the book, her screaming right back. And then the line just goes dead. He tries calling back, over and over, but nothing. The intervention failed. On the website, it stayed up for the rest of the day. Bob had even put a public view counter right there on the page. By the time night fell, it showed that hundreds of people had tuned in to watch the most private, humiliating moments of his wife's affair. The term scorched earth doesn't even begin to cover what happened next. This digital bomb basically left no survivors. From what we know, the wife was desperate to fix things, but it was just too late. Those comments she made, that was the one thing Bob couldn't move past. What happened to the other guy in his marriage, nobody really knows. But the biggest victim in this entire revenge fantasy was Bob himself. The change was just total. Before all this, he was a skilled IT guy, a husband, a friend. Afterwards, he put on 100 pounds, turned into what the narrator just calls a horrible human being, and completely cut himself off from every single friend and family member. He literally went scorched earth on his own life. You know, Bob probably felt like he was serving up some kind of twisted justice, right? Exposing a betrayal for everyone to see. But in the end, his digital weapon just blew up in his own face, and it completely consumed him. And that really leaves us with a tough question for the world we live in now. In this whole game of digital revenge, where do you draw the line between justice and just total self-destruction?